Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something incredibly important, a topic that affects millions of people all over the world, yet rarely gets the open, honest attention it really deserves. We're going to explore how we as a society are actively working to change the narrative on suicide. It's a heavy subject, I know, but stick with me because by the end of our time together, you're going to see exactly how understanding this shift can quite literally save lives.
So let's jump straight into a pretty staggering reality. 720,000. That's the number of lives lost to suicide every single year. When you pause and really let that sink in, it's clear we're dealing with a massive global public health crisis. We aren't just talking about rare, isolated incidents here. We're talking about an ongoing tragedy that rips through families, workplaces, and entire communities every single day.
Section 1. The Silent Public Crisis. Uncovering the Hidden Struggle. Despite how many lives are affected year after year, the biggest hurdle we face is that this whole subject is just buried. It's dangerously buried under layers of shame and silence. Think about how we handle other major health crises. We talk about them openly, we run marathons, we fundraise without a second thought. But with suicide, the conversation often just hits a brick wall before it even begins. People are terrified of saying the wrong thing, or they feel it's just too taboo, and so that silence just grows louder.
Section 2. The Traditional Moral Lens. The Weight of Historical Guilt.
So why the silence? Well, traditionally, society has looked at suicide through this really strict moral or religious lens. And what that does is it attaches guilt to the act. It essentially tells people that their pain is a moral failing. Instead of seeing someone going through a severe health crisis, this old-school framework basically punishes the people who are already hurting the most. It's a heavy, unfair burden to place on someone experiencing unimaginable emotional pain. And here's the kicker. That resulting silence doesn't prevent suicide at all. It does the exact opposite. This harmful silence just drives people who are struggling with dark thoughts into even deeper isolation. I mean, imagine feeling totally overwhelmed by life, and then you look around and realize society considers your pain to be something shameful that you have to hide. That isolation becomes like a suffocating wall, stopping people from reaching out for the help they so desperately need.
Section 3. Changing the Narrative. From Judgment to Understanding.
But thankfully, there is a massive empathetic shift happening right now. Take the World Suicide Prevention Day theme for 2024 through 2026, for example. The mandate is literally to change the narrative. Global health experts are stepping up and saying, look, the old way of staying quiet, it simply isn't working. We urgently need a coordinated worldwide effort to reduce the stigma and just start talking.
And the contrast between where we've been and where we need to go is just night and day. We're moving away from that traditional narrative of guilt, blame, shame, and silence. Words that build walls. Instead, our new narrative pivots hard toward healing, understanding, and open conversation. We literally have to drop that old culture of blame and actively embrace empathy. This isn't just about tweaking our vocabulary, it is a fundamental shift in our cultural attitude.
Because when we actually talk openly about mental health, we strip away that deadly shame. And when shame is removed from the equation, we create safe spaces. We build environments where individuals finally feel like they can speak up without being judged. And once they feel safe, they take that incredibly brave step to seek help. That feeling of safety is the absolute foundation of suicide prevention.
Section 4. Everyday Suicide Prevention. The Power of the Community.
Now, you might be thinking, isn't this just a job for doctors and therapists? Not at all. Suicide prevention is for all of us. Teachers, bosses, religious leaders, your friends, your family, literally every single person plays a crucial part in building a supportive culture. We all interact with people every day, right? So we all have a chance to notice when someone is struggling. Changing this narrative is absolutely a community effort.
And what exactly are we trying to build as a community? We need to empower everyday people to flip the script on how we view mental health. We have to realize that vulnerability is not some weakness you need to hide away. Reaching out for help, that is a massive act of strength and courage. When a buddy or a coworker admits they're having a tough time, they are showing profound bravery, and our culture needs to reflect and reward that.
Which brings us to the most profound, yet totally simple tool we all have. You don't need a medical degree or any special training for this. It's literally just asking 3 words. Are you okay? But the real secret is you have to sincerely listen to the answer. Give them the space to talk without interrupting, without judging. That one simple, everyday interaction can literally be a lifeline to someone who feels completely invisible in their pain.
Ultimately, changing the narrative means totally transforming how we talk, how we think, and how we act around the topic of suicide.
We are trading silence for empathy. By making these small changes in our daily lives, we can collectively build a world where absolutely no one ever feels like ending their life is their only option left.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. Think about the people in your life right now as you go back to your day, your friends, your family, your coworkers. Who will you ask today? Who might just be waiting for you to ask if they're okay? Be the person who breaks the silence. Thanks for joining me today, and I really hope this empowers you to go out there and help change the narrative.